What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series, now with about 50% more sound. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I got my sound situation squared away. That was a weird little hiccup. Not really sure what happened there. Actually, I do. I changed the USB port I was using for my Bluetooth headset, my Bluetooth adapter piece that goes into the USB, and I think it confused OBS as to it being a new device or something. Anyways, so we're starting things off today with the FCAC, I think, Aurora? I think that's what it is. This is a pretty cool little ship to me in terms of design. I like the almost nacelle type style of the engines over here. I think that's kind of a cool touch. It's got a lot of weapons. Lots and lots of guns. Like, there is a ton of turrets on this thing. I love it. But yeah, I like it's not really like an Enterprise design, but it's kind of got the nacelle type things that they're not just mounted to the side of the ship. They've got this little like X-wing kind of pattern, which is kind of cool. A lot of thrusters. I'm expecting this ship to move fairly well just because of the sheer amount of hydrogen thrusters. Ooh, and it's got an underbelly cockpit, it looks like. Did I paste this in upside down? I pasted this in upside down. Lucky for us. Whoop, and now it's right side up. Actually, it's really hard to tell, to be honest, other than the fact of where the cockpit's located and where the yeah, it actually, I think, looks almost identical on top to bottom, other than that fact of where the bridge is located, though. And it would have been cool, like, at first I was thinking it was kind of like a Shenzhou type where the bridge is underneath, until I saw all of the seats were facing the wrong direction. Pretty big clue. Alright, so now we need to find a door. I've seen we got the oh, there it is. I was gonna say we have the hangar door, but I was looking more for the door. Oh, okay, this is a big airlock. I was like, that seems kind of like a, but yeah, that's just a big airlock. Okay. So we have looks like the script readout programmable blocks there. I believe this is a modded or a modless build, if my memory serves. It was hard because I loaded in a couple of mods for testing some other builds that I decided not to go with, so there was mods in here, but so we have a battery status readout. That's actually pretty cool. I don't know if this is an LCD, not LCD. It looks like it's run through a script, because, yeah, I don't know what any of that means. It looks like, is this a texture-based, maybe? No, I don't see any, it says loaded textures, but I don't see any selected. So I'm guessing this is run through some kind of script, probably, but that's pretty cool. I like that readout. It's showing you, wow, does it really have 44 batteries? That's intense. This thing's got some batteries on it. The megawatt hours is the exact... I gotta look up what that is. That's cool. I like that one. I like it a lot. So it looks like we also have bunks here. I'm a little confused about this airlock setup here. I mean, this just opens into space. There's no actual airlock, but you've got bunks here. That would be, I'm not sure I'd want to sleep there. That kind of brings new meaning to the phrase, like, you know, make sure to shut the door behind you type of thing. We have cryo chambers up here in a medical bay. Now, there is oh wow, there is a lot of batteries. There is an empty room in the nose that was talked about in the description, which, this part is, like, right in the nose kind of thing, and it's left empty as kind of a customizable space. You can put in it whatever you want. But the description does say that because of this being a little more empty and vacant and having the medical area right here, I believe the test that the builder did was 100 meters per second and ran into an asteroid, and it did say that the front, or they did say the front, or the front got smashed and the medical room did get damaged. However, if you were to like fill this in with more armor blocks or something to that effect, it might prevent that. So that's just something to keep in mind if you actually intend to use it for a survival build. It's a risk you'd have to be aware of. So this is the hangar. I like this conveyor setup. It's interesting. I don't know if there's any under the hood reasoning for having it this way, because it does seem like a bit of a, well, unless it's sealing it. It's probably for sealing it, because I was going to say it seems like a waste of materials for having a bunch of conveyors rather than tubes. But if that's close to the edge of an unsealed area, then that might keep everything airtight, I imagine. I actually really like the lighting in here, by the way. I don't have my, oh, I do have my lights on. So yeah, I really like the lighting in here. You got these like green areas for here's where you want to go, red for like don't be here, the door's open. I think that's kind of cool. I didn't really think I had my lights on. Port hangar, starboard hangar door. Okay. I'm a mat. Oh! The description did say something about a gravity walk. Well, that's cool. Alright. Okay, let's just pause for a minute here. This is how you do a gravity walk. I don't know how it's set up, like in terms of how the actual gravity generator is set up, but look at how seamless this is. This is wonderful. There's no ramps, there's no falling around, there's no clipping and stumbling out. You just walk off to the side. This is how you do this. I have got to figure out how they set this up, because I've always liked gravity walks and stuff for doing vertical and more abstract design, but they're always very cumbersome to do, and you always like have that moment where you fall over, or the mag boots try and do something weird, or you have to have a ramp or something. This works really, really well. It honestly might be the highlight of the build for me in terms of inspiration factor of like, I would totally use this in my own builds. So yeah, we've got 2 blank programmable blocks there for you to use and add your own programs. We have the right side up bridge now. I am going to turn my lights off if I can here, because with the new bloom and everything, having your headlamps on does make things a bit bright. Not to mention I'm looking right at the sun. Alright, so let's check this out. We've got turrets, interior turrets, missile turrets, antennas, 1 and 2, backup antennas, batteries, I'm guessing these are charge, recharge, stuff like that, beacon, ore detector, and I'm guessing emergency reactors, hangar doors, solar panels. Why would you ever turn the solar panels off? That seems weird. I've never even noticed that you could do that before. That's odd. Remote control, jump drive, starboard door, and that looks about it. So it does not have any fixed weapons, it's all turret based, but it's got a ton of them. Like on these back engine things, there's what? Not counting the interiors, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like there's 8 turrets on each thing. That's a lot of guns. And then you got 2 on the side. It was advised in the description to use like decoys and heavy armor in the nose to draw fire to the most like not vital part of the ship kind of thing, and you can kind of tell that with the bridge towards the back and the turrets on the what you wouldn't want the turrets and engines to get hit and stuff. Though there is a lot of batteries in the front. I'm not sure what kind of damage that would do. In terms of acceleration, we were right on the money. This thing accelerates really fast because of these freaking huge hydrogen thruster pod things. Turning and stuff, it actually moves really nice. I mean, I know you're going to eat through hydrogen like nobody's business if you were playing this in survival, but it moves around really good. Like, I really like it. It moves really well. I was actually surprised given its size. It's not a huge ship, but it's not really a small one either. So that's pretty awesome. I like it. Alright, so that's going to do it for this one. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so next up we have the Vger, or something like that. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. It could be Ver for all I know, and the G is silent. I mean, that does happen sometimes. So yeah, this is actually a really interesting build. I believe it is another modless build, with the exception of you do need a torpedo blueprint if you want to have it work 100% correctly. The weird part to this is I believe this is from, according to the description, Star Trek the Motion Picture, which I was actually kind of surprised about because I remember seeing it in Star Trek Online, but I don't remember. I was not a big, like, avid, diehard fan of the Kirk era stuff, so I can't say I really remember the first movie all that well, if at all. But I really thought this was something later, like in Voyager or something, because it seemed like a doomsday type weapon that I was really surprised to find out that it's from the first movie. But yeah, thing's a monster. The thing is huge, and it's really cool. It's no wonder they put it in there, because it looks beast. But as far as a recreation goes, this look, like, I recognized it right away from what I assumed was the Star Trek Online version, but that might not have been the same. Might not have been the same thing now that I'm looking at it. I don't know. But anyways, really cool design. It's got a lot of firepower behind it, as well as that, like, gravity type torpedo thing that we'll have to mess with. It does have a self-destruct, but I believe I have damage for blocks turned off for the Inspiration series on this world purposes. So I don't know if that'll actually work or not. And I think I got this one right side up. Because the only thing I noticed different about the one side versus the other was that this one has what looked to be like a window kind of area over here. So I assume this is correct. Now I just have to find a way in. I'm sure we can always fly up the barrel, but that's probably not the way you're supposed to actually do it. But you can see as we're flying around here, there's missiles everywhere on this ship. There are missile launchers everywhere on this thing. It's amazing. And I really thought this was a door. It's actually the welder. My bad. So, yeah, this, I don't know. This isn't a thing, is it? Kind of looks like it could have been, but negative. I'm kind of thinking the barrel option at this point, because I'm really not sure about the layout of the ship to know really, like, where you're supposed to get in at, kind of thing. Normally I can kind of give, you know, you can kind of tell it's usually onto the side or something like that, but I don't really know much about... Nope. Merge block. Thought that was a door. So yeah, let's try up the barrel. Oh, wait, no, there's even arrows! How did I miss that? They tried so hard to make it easy for me, and I still screwed it up. They're like, we'll give you need to know where the door is? We'll give you bright green glowing arrows. Nope, still not gonna work. Oh, it's darker in here than I thought it was gonna be. I try and mess with my headlamps because with the new lighting system and stuff, there's a lot of times where builders have put in kind of atmospheric type lighting, kind of like this. But I get that from a video standpoint, sometimes it makes it dark and you can't really see. So I try and play around with it to get the best of both worlds so you guys can see kind of what it was going for. So we have a red alert and red alert deactivate. There should be... Weapons are only active when red alert is active. Oh, well, that's cool. That's good to know. There should also be, it's probably in the main cockpit controls, but there should also be a self-destruct, apparently. Ooh, and it goes down. Let's see where it goes. So we have a big readout here. I'm getting a little, I think it's sim speed from it, from the looks of things, because the choppiness of it doesn't seem like a frame rate thing, so I'm thinking it's just sim. So we have a beacon here. I'm guessing this is supposed to be like the computer core. Yeah, computer core. Yeah, there you go. I was right. I really like this sequence. This is pretty cool. Button configuration. It's got all of your all scripts on, off, red alert, port connector, starboard connector, interior turrets, beacon. Cool stuff. And it's got a cool little light show. I seriously do like that. That's really cool. Automatic LCDs, floor plan, and TIM inventory manager. I haven't actually used this script before, but I've heard really good things about it. I usually tend to try and accomplish the same things, but come up with my own ways of doing it just from a programming standpoint. I like the exercise and trying to figure it out. But I've heard really good things about the TIM manager. Oh, that's cool. The screens rotate. That's new. I honestly can't say I've ever seen that before. So they're using an incomplete decoy as a frame and then just slapping LCDs on that and putting it on a rotor with an LED light or LCD light on the bottom. Is that LED? LCD? Doesn't matter. Interior. Interior light. So this is the meeting room according to the sign outside. And not sure where that goes. Let's check over here and see if there's a room over here to explore. Auxiliary power and auxiliary batteries. Ooh. Okay. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not to give it that smoky effect, but it's really neat. I doubt you'd want your... Oh! Oh, this is glass. Okay then, I thought it just plummeted. And I was like, let's go down and check it out. Nope, there's glass there. Fine then, be that way. Alright, medical bay? Airtight hangar door closed. Where's the... Oh, okay. Oh, so this is the medical bay. That sign was kind of deceptive. I'm like staring at the wall like an idiot. Like, where's the medical bay door? I can't get in here. Yeah. So there's that. This is probably gonna go back up. Oh, negative. O2 and H2 farm. Ah, see, that's the other thing, is that Space Engineers has some weird lighting bugs at the moment, where it's like that shouldn't be affecting it, but it is, and yeah. So that's also affecting the mood lighting things for builds like this, so it forces me to use these. That's something I really am surprised that they haven't fixed yet, because there's been 2 or 3 updates, and I think one big update or something, and this lighting glitch where sometimes the lights work and depending on how you look at it, sometimes they don't, is still present, which I find very odd because it's very annoying, and I'm sure everybody has been yelling about it for a while, so I really find it hard to believe they don't know about it. Let's see here. We got timer block, hyperdrive closed door, hyperdrive open door. I want to see that. I mean, it's a hyperdrive. Who doesn't want to see the hyperdrive? So, of course, they're using jump drives here, and a thruster, or 2 thrusters on overload to make it... Oh, I got you. That's cool. It looks like the warp core when the 2 thrusters bleed together. That's kind of a cool little idea. That's neat. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't have thought of that. And it's got little blinking lights and everything. That's kind of cool. I like when people find creative ways to take one block and twist it around and use it a different way. I think that's really fun. All right, so then what goes this way? This is one of the things I saw in the screenshots. This very ominous Imperial Sith Lord hallway, which is very cool, by the way. Like, honestly, I know that, you know, it's used a lot in sci-fi, but who doesn't like a good, what is this, hexagon? Yeah, who doesn't like a good hexagon hallway? It just... Now, one thing I think would be hilarious is to give the heroes a ship with this kind of shape, because for whatever reason, whether it's Star Trek, Star Wars, or whatever, any ship that has these hexagon hallways, it's always the bad guy. It's the Decepticons and Transformers and the Nemesis. It's the Star Trek guys. It's the Death Star in Star... It's like it's always the bad guys. No good guy that I've ever seen has hexagon hallways. It's just one of those weird little things. It's just funny. Right, so engineering door, engineering door. Guessing open and close. Okay. And do we have any cool lighting in here? Kind of. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's just a reflection. It looked like they had like lights in the railing, and I was like, this is a modulus. How did they do that? I also like this catwalk kind of stuff. This is pretty cool. When you got this like overhang type thing. Really neat. I like it. Alright, what is this for? Main door. Do I need to do that? I guess I do. Main door open. That's the inner. Okay. I guess this one. So many doors. Oh. Oh, am I like, about to be shot out the barrel, or where did I go? I went somewhere. And I don't think I'm supposed to be here. Oh, it's engineering. Okay, so this is... Wow, this thing has a bajillion gyroscopes. That's a hydrogen thruster I just flew into. Wow. Wow. Okay. Whew. Let's get out of here before I burn my face off or something. Now I don't know where the door is. There it is. Whew. So it has buttons and things, so you're supposed to go out there. I guess it's just for, like, main engineering type thing, like, you know, for maintenance and whatnot. Okay. So with that, I think we've explored most of it, so I guess now the only thing left is to head back to the main bridge and fly around, test it out, and of course, try and launch the big torpedo thingies and see what it does, because is kind of the highlight of a ship like this, is the giant cannon that the rest of the ship is built around. Alright. Back here at the main bridge. Managed to not get lost. Red alert.
Enemy detected.
Oh, we get a blast shield thing too. That's cool. Alright, let's check this out. Ion thruster controls, rear exterior, these are all thrusters, timer block, primary reactor power on and off, auxiliary reserve batteries, cameras, front, aft, port, starboard, connectors, jump drives, rocket launchers. I'm guessing these are going to be fire sequences. Space torpedo, that's the one we're looking for. Red alert we already did. Okay, cool. So we really only need this panel. So, yeah, out here... So there's the front nose rockets. Wait a minute. How did they get them to scatter like that? That's kind of cool. That's really weird, though. I don't know how they did that. Because... They're facing straight, and they're only firing straight, so how do they curve? Unless that's something they recently added where it has a margin of error or something. Anyways, we got wing ones too, which really hurts my sim speed. It's almost like slow motion. Now let's just add insult to injury and fire the front ones too. If you can handle it. There it goes. Oh man, it doesn't know what to do. That is a lot of missiles though. Like, look at all those. I mean, seriously, without this giant torpedo thing in the front, that alone is just gonna mess up somebody's day. Alright. Now, let's fire off the main torpedo thingy, which I'm assuming is a blueprint welder, gravity-like torpedo. Now, without anything to hit... Yeah, I think it's just gonna fly off and probably not do anything. Unfortunately. I didn't spawn in any asteroids or anything to fire that on, but it fires pretty quickly. There's a few seconds that it has to take to build and fire, but overall, it's pretty cool. But if that doesn't kill you, the wing missiles and everything else will kill you, because just basically don't be in front of this thing. That's pretty much the moral of the story. Alright, so we're going to wrap this one up. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so last but not least, we have the Orion. Now, this is a pretty cool little ship. I say little, it's actually not that small. It's just not a big, like, frigate or something like that. It's, I think the description says a maximum of 11 crew, but that is kind of pushing it as far as for the designated sleeping quarters and all that kind of stuff. It's really optimal for a 4, but can be run as a 1-person crew. The builder said they were going for a kind of 80s retro futuristic style, which I can definitely tell. We've talked a lot in the inspiration series about this, what I call clutter detail. This is done really well. There's a lot of containers and piping and different stuff, which is really, really neat. We also have gravity out here, which can be turned off with this guy, gravity for walking. At least that's what it says. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. And then you've got all these different little, like, cubbies and containers, and, you know, this is like the engineering area for maintenance and stuff. And so this is really cool. This probably took a really long time to do all the detail work. I actually walked through a little bit of this already because I was trying to make sure that everything worked for me, and that I was reading a lot on the comments of the difficulty with entering because of it using a rotary airlock type thing, or rotor wizardry, or whatever they call it, whatever it's gotten coined as. But I didn't actually notice you could crouch down and go in there, into those little cubbies before, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it definitely looks like one of those where there might be some large grid components to get different function things and stuff, but for the most part it's definitely going for a small ship grid for the detail side, which looks really good and it works out really well. Let's see what else we got. We got hydrogen tanks and stuff down here, but like there's this is kind of like a no stone left unturned approach kind of thing, as far as like the every little area has some kind of decorative detail work done to it. So this is really, really intense, but it's really awesome. Like, it pays off really well. A lot of batteries down there. Now, for the airlock, everybody in the comments on the build on the workshop file has been having problems with this, apparently, at the time of this recording. And for those of you that aren't aware of this, I believe they coined this a rotary wizardry, or rotor wizardry airlock, which is where you put a chair, seemingly, I've never built one, but I'm guessing you put it on a rotor, and essentially it's the act of kicking you out of the seat is what propels you through a wall. Like it teleports the player far enough that it's past a wall. And so it's used as kind of like almost like a clipping airlock kind of thing, where you clip through the wall and then you're on the other side. But the description is a little bit off, and I found out why. I don't know if it's an update with the build or the game or anything that's changed that. I don't think it is. It's probably just proper terminology, I guess. I don't know, as if I'm some kind of expert. But the description says to stand kind of between the wall, or try your best to get in the seat, and then and of course it's going to do it right the first time. Yep, now it's going to do it for me. Thanks. Yay. Yep, now, Dagnabbit, I sat here for like 20 times trying this before and it didn't work. Let me do it this way. It's still doing it! Okay, that time it didn't. Maybe now it'll work. Okay, now I can't get out. Good. Okay. That worked better. Dagnabbit. I know everyone's complaining in the comments about it not working, and I'm having trouble getting it to not work. Essentially what I found is if I got in here and it... I can't believe it's working every time. What I found was holding the W key. I'm going to get in from back here to see if it... Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's not doing it now, right? Because I'm not standing between the wall. Now, what I'm going to try is see if this actually works ahead of time, is I'm gonna push W and then get out, and it doesn't work this way either. But if you're over here and you're relatively kind of in the right spot, but it's not working, that's what I found worked, is holding the W key when you exit seemed to kind of give you that extra forward momentum to really make sure you got through the wall. Because it never fails. When I'm trying to get it to work, it won't do it. But, you know, if I stopped recording right now, I bet you it would. But basically, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, so from here, I'm not going to move, but I can't get in. So I'm going to try this W, and no, it didn't. Never mind. You know what? Just never mind. It's finicky. Okay, it's finicky. It sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't, and just hope it works, I guess. Because I thought I was onto something, apparently I am not. But if you're having trouble, and you can't get the positioning right and it's not working for you, I would try holding the W key, and that worked for me, but now it's doing it anyway. So anyways, we've got the kind of same amount of level of detail on the interior as well, which is really cool. I love this. I'm not entirely sure how it was done. It doesn't look like there's a full block between these two. Oh, I guess there is. So leaving a full block space and doing like under lights and stuff, that's a really cool effect. I really love that. Airlock prep lights. I know that the space is small, but so far that's my only complaint with this really, is I would like to see some kind of actual airlock system. And I think it was done because the description mentioned that there's no doors on a small ship grid. So that's probably why they had to do it this way. But it is kind of annoying, and honestly, a small ship grid door would fix that. So it is kind of like, yeah, why don't we have that? So I guess my initial assessment was probably inaccurate, that there probably isn't any large blocks to this. This is probably just a small ship grid then. I wasn't really sure, because a lot of these ships that have this kind of detail usually mix the two in order to get functionality. That is so cool. That is a wonderful use of a spotlight. It definitely gives it that 80s futuristic retro future look. This is cool. So that's a ramp nose with a corner light. That's cool. It makes it look like some kind of wall light. Oh my gosh, I love this ship so much. The airlock is the only bad thing so far, and I totally don't even care anymore. There's just so much stuff. There's so much detail to this thing. I love it. I love this ship. I might actually... What is the button for walking? Nope, wrong button. I feel like I'm running through the whole place. I kind of want to just walk. It's so small, I kind of want to just walk around, because running feels like over the top. And it's got interior stairways and everything. This is ridiculously awesome. This is so cool. I got a couch here, it looks like. Halloween Horror Night. That's funny. That's really cool. That's awesome. Alright, let's see. What else we got in here? Looks like a galley. Wow. Seriously, at the detail of this ship, though. So, this is a modless as well. I'm blown away by the level of detail in the interior here. Yeah, so seriously, this kind of a ship is the bread and butter of the Inspiration series as a whole. Like, this is exactly why I started this series. So if you're looking for inspiration on how to do interiors without doing mods, look no further. There's all kinds of little stuff. There's coffee table things, corner tables, lights, decorative archways and hallways. Now, before anybody goes back on my... This isn't a hexagon. This isn't a hexagon hallway. Actually, it's not, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... So this is an octagon hallway, right? If I remember my prefixes correctly. So, good guy explorer ship, still not hexagon hallway. It's still not a thing. There are no weapons on it. This is an exploratory vessel. Designed for exploration only. Or at least with... Oh, lab. Lab, you say? I thought this was the kitchen. Looks like a kitchen. You got, like, you know... So I guess unless this is supposed to be, like, chemical stuff. Okay, I can see a lab. It is all white, so it's all sterile. Let's go see if we can find the kitchen. I probably already passed it and don't realize it. This looks like some kind of office admin type desk. Oh, medical bay. This is what this is, medical bay. Oh, this is using not a large ship grid. This is using some SE Toolbox shenanigans, I think. It's very well done. I mean, they've got a little frame around the screen and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, there are some things like medical rooms, doors, things like that, that they do just need to add a small grid version for that, because if you did a small ship like this and had nothing, you wouldn't be able to respawn in it. It's like, it is kind of ridiculous. This is a really awesome ship, by the way. Like, I will take some tomfoolery with the medical bay and stuff. But, I would like to see if the builder updated this, though. I would like to see maybe some shenanigans like the medical bay there to put doors in so that you don't have such a cumbersome airlock system. That's really my only complaint with this ship, but everything else is just dandy. What do we got here? Antenna SOS, radio comms light. Okay. Where's the bridge, by the way? Man, this thing keeps going! I keep thinking I reached the end and then I find more doorways. I do apologize if I'm giving anyone epileptic seizures or anything, though. I don't know what my walk button is. Maybe I'll just crouch. Doesn't really matter. I need a walk button, though. I don't remember what I assigned it to. Let's see. Bathroom lights. Toilet lights. Because the... Oh, it's like out here is bathroom lights. Okay. So you have a sink and then you have like the toilet and the shower, I guess. I was assuming that was all the same thing. Aha. Alright, so we have... looks like an entertainment room. Another movie night room area. Very cool. Let's see... Canteen bar... Mood lights. Mood lighting. Ah, I see. That's a really neat way of doing that, too. So this is like the... Man, it's got its own bar and a movie night? I mean, this ship is pretty freaking cool. It's an explorer's dream. So this is the actual crew quarters, and as you can see, we've got 4 bunks. That's hence the 4 is optimal part. Corner light. So that's the desk light. Okay. So yeah, you wouldn't... Really, you'd have to be working in shifts if you had more than 4 to where somebody's up, somebody's down kind of thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't have enough beds. And then we get to the main bridge. It looks like. Oh, this is so freaking awesome. This thing is so cool. C4 lights. Okay, so cockpit 4, I guess. What? I'm in love. I'm in love with this ship. This thing is so cool. Control room corridor light. The only thing I'm confused about is where do I actually control the thing from? I guess... I guess one of these, right? Not that one. Well, it could be that one. It just might... There might not be any... There might not be any hotbar controls for anything. Come on. Yeah, I guess there's just no hotbar controls. I don't see a remote block or anything for anywhere, so I'm guessing this will work. Yep. Okay. So in terms of flying now, acceleration's not bad. It's a little on the slower side, but again, for an exploring vessel, you really shouldn't be necessarily needing to go anywhere very fast, I don't think. Turning's pretty good. I'm actually surprised at the rotation. Usually rotation's real sluggish, and rotating's actually pretty good. So, yeah, overall... Now, I did read in the description, lateral thrust is a little bit on the sluggish side, so the builder actually recommended rotating over and using the verticals, because the verticals would push faster. But that's going to do it for this episode. We're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace!